Hello, welcome to my channel if you are a brand new viewer, or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. So I am super excited today to be reviewing the Holo Mixed Emotions collection. I even put this in my fridge so you could see it in the cold state because the box changes color. Wait, is it zoomed in enough? Okay, wait a minute. Anyway, so this is the Mixed Emotions collection. It is the 5-year anniversary collection for Holo. And man, I can't believe it's been 5 years since Holo first launched their own nail polish brand. It's been a really awesome 5 years. And here's to like 20 more, however long she keeps the business going. So yeah, if you look behind me, this shelf right here, it's not super zoomed in, but that whole thing, this whole one, and then the one over here. Oh, sorry. And then, sorry, that, I'm not doing a very good job of pointing. Let's see. So that, and that, those are all Holo because at this point in time, Holo has 200-ish SKUs of nail polish, and I'm so excited to swatch this collection. I've never been a big thermal person. I don't really dislike thermals. It's just that they come with a little bit of maintenance in terms of like keeping them in a state where they can still change. And not only that, the ability to change doesn't last forever. So generally speaking, I don't typically buy thermals, but I like the idea of them. And when I was younger and I used to travel all the time to the islands with my family, there was this one nail polish brand, Del Sol, that I loved. They had a color changing nail polish. Now theirs was a little different. It was sun reactive, so it would change color in the sun, whereas this is based on your body temperature. Whereas this is based on like temperature, but this is sort of similar properties, I imagine. But yeah, so this is a 5-piece collection from Holo, and I'm just really excited. I got the stickers too. Like, this is the color in the cold state, the top right here, and this is the only one that changes, and you can see, yeah, it's temperature reactive, which is just really fun. I have to be so honest, as somebody who's a huge fan of Holo, they do an amazing job with the collection boxes. Not every single collection gets a collection box, but a good chunk of them do. And each box is dynamic and interesting and different from the last. And that's part of the fun, is like buying the whole collection so you can get the box. I keep all of these boxes. A lot of them are repurposed. They have varying nail art supplies, and the ones that don't get used for nail art supplies, I keep because they're awesome and I'm not getting rid of them. So let's dive into the Mixed Emotion collection right now. Take it over, voiceover. Hello, it is voiceover me. So I just wanted to zoom in a little bit as I unbox this collection. I do always kind of think, like, when I see a Holo box, this is the best box, or like it's in my top 5. But there's so many good collection boxes. I mean, they're all great, but I mean just like ones that speak to my soul. It's so hard to pick. Like the rock candy box that we had for the last collection is one of my favorites, but I also love this one too because I love the temperature change aspect of that first row of the box, and then I just really think the colors are really nice and complementary. So this is a 5-piece thermal collection, the first thermal collection from Holo. I also really appreciated that when they did this collection, they mixed in a couple different formulas, so it's not just like all-in-one formulas. I think a couple of these are flakies, and then a few of them are sort of like in the micro shimmer category as well. So I'll be swatching all of these because I did want you to be able to see the difference between like the warm and the cold state. I put the whole box with the polishes in the fridge for like 30 minutes or so. I did that because I tend to run really hot, on top of the fact that my apartment usually runs warmer. I live upstairs and I live in Virginia. So those are all things that contribute to it being just sort of like overall hotter when I'm swatching the polishes, and I wanted you to be able to see the cold state as well as the warm state. So all of the polishes, when I'll be swatching them, they will be cold because they'll be coming from the fridge, so you'll be able to see what they look like in its cold color, and then it'll probably change pretty quickly to the warm shade, which is my skin tone. It will change to the warm state on my skin because I just run so hot. So let's get started with those swatches. We'll finish up this bottle footage and move straight into our swatching. First up, we have Funny Feeling. So this one is described as being a turquoise color in its cold state, and then a nice warm yellow in its warm state. It has a scattered holo and a green shimmer running throughout it, as well as I think some micro holo running throughout it too. I don't really pick up on the green shimmer, but that's okay because there's still enough holo in here for me. I think this is a really beautiful shade in both colors, but if I pick which state I like more, I would say that I do actually like the turquoise aspect of it more, which is its cold state. So that being said, I would kind of have to remember to wear this polish in the winter time so that I could see it more in its cold state, because I would probably almost never see it in its cold state in the summertime because of how hot I run, and then just like how naturally hot everything else is around me. So, but yeah, I think they're both pretty. I just think the turquoise is like doing it for me, speaking more to my soul. And I think it's an interesting thing. I would imagine when it comes to thermals, you can't do it the other way around, in the sense that you have a lighter shade that transitions to a darker shade. You know what I mean? So like you have to do the warmer shade for the warm, and then like when you're colder, it can shift to dark. So I imagine it always has to be like that with thermals. That's my limited understanding, but this is Funny Feeling. So moving on to the next one. Next up is Rage Bait. So in its cold state, Rage Bait is a nice red coral color. And then in its cool state, it is a warm tangerine. And there's a purple shimmer, some scattered holo. I feel like there's a gold shimmer in there, but maybe that's just kind of how the scattered holo is coming across in this base. But I definitely see the purple shimmer in this one too. So I'd say the formula is pretty similar to Funny Feeling, just a different color. I really like both colors of this shift in here. So the cold state is that nice sort of corally red. And then we shift right over to that nice warm tangerine. I don't really know if it's the fact that I'm running hot, or maybe, I don't know. It's just like for this one, the change is almost instant. Like as soon as I put it on my nails, it goes straight into that warm shade. And this, more than the other ones, you can't really see the cold color after a while on my tips. So I don't know, it's just an interesting kind of thing. I like both sides of this shift, so I don't really have a preference for this particular color. I dig them both. I think they both look great on my skin tone, so that's Rage Bait. Next up, we have Guilty Pleasure, which is definitely my first favorite of the collection. So this one is a simple purple that shifts to a pink, and then it has a scattered holo and a magenta shimmer running throughout it. I really don't see the magenta. All I see is gold and scattered holo, like when I apply it, but I really don't see magenta, but I could be blind. So this one is one of my favorites because I just love purples and pinks. Those are two of my absolute favorite colors when it comes to nail polish. So it doesn't really matter which color this one's in for me. I love both shift colors, and I kind of have a hard time picking between the two, which one I like the most. If you're saying which one I feel like complements my skin tone the most, I think the purple looks a little bit more poppy on my skin tone, but I'm a pink girl, so maybe the pink one's my favorite. But no, Guilty Pleasure is my first favorite because I love both of the colors in here. It's a really fun shift, and it's a really, really beautiful formula. I'm really enjoying the scattered holo formula because I love a good scattered taco. I think it's a good way, like if you want to apply it as a top coat where you don't like wash out whatever's underneath, whether that be like a base color or nail art. So I really like the idea of having a scattered holo running throughout this. It doesn't become overpowering. You can still see the base colors, but you still get that holo in there as well. So I absolutely love this shade, and this was Guilty Pleasure. Next up, we have Deeply Superficial. I love all the names that the team picked out for this collection as well. So this one is another simple shift in the sense that it goes from a sort of nice like hot pink to a pale pink in its warm shade. So it's pink and pink. And this kind of reminds me, if you've ever seen the movie Steel Magnolias, where Julia Roberts' character is getting married, and her mom's like, she chose pink and pink. And she's like, no, my colors are blush and bashful, which are two different shades of pink. So this is kind of what I think of when I think of this color, with like blush being the warm tone and the bashful being the hot pink. I love this one because I love pinks, but I also appreciate that they mixed up the formula on this one, and this one is a flaky. So it looks like I see two different types of flakies. I see like an iridescent flaky that kind of picks up like pink and purple, and then I swear there's also like a gold one in there in two, and it definitely looks like there's a scattered holo running throughout this one too. So I think those are really nice and complementary, but still allow the flakies to shine in this one. I appreciate the difference in formula, and I just really love both of these shift colors as well. I'm not picking a favorite. They're pink and pink. I like both shades of pink. So that is Deeply Superficial. Last up but never least, we have Simply Chaotic. So this one is a sort of medium purple that shifts to like a light blue in its warm state, and then we have a similar flaky formula as we did to Deeply Superficial. So for the flakies, I like the mix of the flakies in here. This definitely looks like there's some blue flakies, maybe there's some iridescent flakies in there as well. And I like when they have different types of flakies, because that can be really complementary based on like which color is more dominant on your hands and like in the environment that you live in as well. So, and I think that when you have different types of flakies, they can stand out more like in darker shades, but they also just look different with the lighter shade too. I do like both of the shift colors, but I do gravitate more towards the cold version of this shift. So I'll kind of have to remember, if I do want to wear this more often, to just wear it in the winter time. Also, a small little note that I noticed on the Holo Taco bottles is they do have right underneath the name of the color on the bottle itself that it's thermal. I appreciate that, and I wish more brands would do that, and not just with thermals, like indicate if it's a magnetic or if it's a shimmer or something. Well, maybe just for something like magnetics, because I have so much polish that sometimes I forget like what's a magnetic, what's a thermal, you know? So I just thought that was like a nice little touch as well. Okay, let's move over to some final comparisons. So looking at these, I think this was a great fun collection, and I always appreciate that Holo Taco is doing new different collections and surprising us. For their 5th anniversary, this collection did not disappoint. To pick my top 3 in my favorites order, it is definitely going to be Guilty Pleasure, Deeply Superficial, and Rage Bait. So those are my top 3. And I think this collection was awesome. Love the collection box. Can't wait to see what we're doing for the rest of the year. Mainly like the holiday collection and the fall collection. I'm still hoping we get like a reflective glitter rainbow collection, maybe next year though. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite and if you picked up the whole collection. I was checking the Holo Taco website just to kind of get the description of the polishes, and everything is sold out. But Deeply Chaotic, I think, or no, maybe it's Guilty Pleasure. Only one is available now, so just let me know in the comments below what you guys picked up. Okay, that's my time. Catch you later. Bye!